Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Austin Perry Show. I'm your host, Austin Perry, and today is Wednesday, June 30th, 2021, and this is episode 47 of the Austin Perry Show, here where we discuss current events, politics, culture, news, advanced technology, and aliens. And here on the Austin Perry Show is where we strive for expanded consciousness and enlightenment. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a very jam-packed, amazing episode here tonight on this special episode 47 edition of the Austin Perry Show, where we are going to be doing a mini deep dive on the topic of reptilians. That's right, the alien race of reptilians, reptilian humanoids. We are going to be analyzing and discussing and talking about these said reptilians, ladies and gentlemen. And ladies and gentlemen, I would like to encourage everyone to please visit my website, which is AustinParry.org, and that's spelled P-A-R-R-Y, AustinParry.org. Check it out, give it a look, take a gander. I think you'll really like my website. That is where you can find all of my video content, and where you can find merchandise for sale, and where you can find artwork for sale. And that is as well where you can make a contribution to support the Austin Perry Show. Please leave me a donation on AustinParry.org. Find the donation link, leave me a donation. That will really help me out. That will help to support my video content into the future. That will help to support me financially. And ladies and gentlemen, I am 100% supported by you, the viewers and the listeners of the Austin Perry Show. I am not taking payouts from the government, from big tech, or from evil corporations. I am just a lowly, patriot, grassroots journalist. And if you would like to support the show, please make a contribution. Go to austinparry.org, find the donation link, leave me a donation. That will really help me out into the future. That will support my video content, and that will help to improve the video production of the Austin Perry Show. And so, ladies and gentlemen, please consider leaving me a donation at austinparry.org. Thank you so much, and thank you all for tuning in here on this special episode 47 edition of the Austin Perry Show on this Wednesday, June 30th, 2021, where we are going to be doing a deep dive on the topic of reptilians. And so, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the information here we're going to discuss and to analyze and to talk about here on the Austin Perry Show. So let's go ahead and go to the first slide that we have to talk about here tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, this is Wikipedia, and here you can see reptilian conspiracy theory. So the reptilians are an alleged alien race, and a lot of people think that they are actually real and they're already here among us. Most of you probably already believe in aliens. You might think that they might be in a faraway galaxy. You might think that they may be in a neighboring solar system. Or if you're like myself, you might think that the aliens are already here among us, keeping a watchful eye over humanity. And there are a lot of different theories about what types of alien races are out there. And one of the theories is that there is reptilian aliens who are controlling a lot of different aspects of humanity and of human society. And allegedly, these reptilian creatures have infiltrated many of the different governmental organizations, different corporations. They are heads of industry and politicians and celebrities, allegedly. And so the way that they camouflage themselves is through either A, hallucination, or B, and by hallucination, I mean hypnosis. They have some form of mind control hypnosis that they induce onto the viewers of their body, or they use a type of technological camouflage such as holographic skin. It is very possible, very probable. Whether or not it's true or not, I don't know. I think it is very likely, though. And so, let's go ahead and read a little bit here from this Wikipedia page. Reptilian conspiracy theory. Reptilians, also called reptoids, lizard people, reptilioids, or saurians, or draconians, are supposed reptilian humanoids which play prominent role in fantasy, science fiction, ufology, and conspiracy theories. The idea of reptilians was popularized by David Icke, a conspiracy theorist who claims shape-shifting reptilian aliens control Earth by taking on human form and gaining political power to manipulate human societies. Icke has stated on multiple occasions that many world leaders are or are possessed by so-called reptilians. So, ladies and gentlemen, David Icke is one of the leading, most prominent voices in talking about and exposing the reptilians and their agenda. And he says that they are very void of emotion. They're very calculating and cold-blooded, if you will. They have much more of like a warrior's mentality. They think about domination and death a lot. They don't feel empathy. They don't feel joy. What they do feel is a craving to feed and a craving for power and for domination. And so they are extremely intelligent, much more intelligent than the average human. And so they have very high intelligence, very high IQs. And according to David Icke, a lot of people won't actually witness a reptilian alien in its full form, in its full reptile skin, possibly because they are camouflaged by some form of mental hypnosis upon the viewer or by holographic skin. What the viewer will instead see is the eyes will switch to the slit pupil eyes quickly and then switch back. So there are a lot of eyewitness accounts of witnessing when someone is talking to someone or when someone encounters or witnesses somebody else, their eyes will switch from human eyes to the reptilian slit pupil eyes and then switch back. And so this is a very common account of people who claim to have an eyewitness account of viewing a reptilian alien. And so that is a very popular theory. And so these reptilians are much stronger than average humans. They're taller, stronger, and faster, and much more deadly and dangerous in their physical form. And so that is very interesting, very thought-provoking. Let's go ahead and move on to the next slide now, here on the Austin Perry Show, episode 47, deep dive into the topic of alien reptilians. So let's go ahead and move on now. We have a video here, ladies and gentlemen. And let me give you a brief backstory into this video, which we're about to view here on the monitor behind me. And this is a video which is showing Barack Obama, the previous president of the United States, giving his speech. And one of his Secret Service agents is seemingly shape-shifting. And it could be that potentially his holographic skin or his camouflage, whatever type of technology he's using to conceal his real identity or to camouflage himself or to make it appear as if he is actually just a regular human, it could be that that technology that he is using to camouflage is fluctuating or is temporarily down or broken or not working. And so because of this, it seems that potentially his holographic skin could have been malfunctioning, and this showed his true identity for a split second where he was seeming to shapeshift. And so once again, this is a speech of Barack Obama, and one of his Secret Service agents, who is one of his bodyguards, it seems as though his holographic skin seems to start malfunctioning and he is shapeshifting into the form of a reptilian. So let's go ahead and watch this video. Let's go full screen here and let's play this video. Let's watch this here.
During Barack Obama's speech at 2012 APAC Policy Conference at the Washington Convention Center, the camera spotted a very odd individual, who may be either with the U.S. Secret Service, or with the Israels, and could be a strong evidence of a shapeshifter alien humanoid working for the powers that be, caught in a high-definition video during an event of the Zionist cabal.
4 years ago, I stood before you and said that Israel's security is sacrosanct. It is non-negotiable. That belief has guided my actions as president.
Even though at first sight he looks just like the average Secret Service spook, a series of odd features on his head, face, plus a very strange behavior and creepy movements, suggests something.
He looks kind of like Voldemort from the Harry Potter movies, which was part snake.
Else. But due the low lighting in half the amphitheater, he would pass unnoticed or regarded as a normal human being by the crowd, and everybody who watched this video, if it was not by the camera of the Jewish News One, which caught him from another angle apparently shape-shifting into some sort of reptilian non-human form. Disregard all the distortions and image artifacts caused by post-edition zooming, and pay close attention to how his head features suddenly change. His ears, his nose, his chin, cheekbone, jaw and mouth are no longer looking human at all. Matter of fact, now he has a blatant non-human face. So what just happened? Did his shape-shifting device fail during Obama's speech, in the middle of an amphitheater crowded with people? Is he an actual reptilian humanoid? Is he one of the Anunnaki? Is he a tall grey bio-android, or what? Is that video evidence that the Illuminati elite is in bed with at least one ancient extraterrestrial race, hidden in plain sight, and pulling the strings of mankind?
Ladies and gentlemen, there you go. There is the video of the alleged reptilian in question. And so that is very suspect, very questionable. So he may or may not be a reptilian. Based on the video evidence, it looks like something's going on there. I mean, that looked very weird. Definitely some kind of shape-shifting or some kind of holographic skin. I'm not sure what's going on there, ladies and gentlemen. But that is very thought-provoking, very intriguing, very fascinating. And so there are allegedly a lot of different types of alien races here on Earth, if you do believe in aliens, which most people do. The question is, do most people believe that aliens are already among us, or if aliens are in some distant star system? More people probably believe in aliens than don't believe in aliens. And then more people out of those people probably believe that there are aliens, but they're in distant star systems. And probably the fewest amount of people believe that there are aliens here and they're already among us. So if you do believe that there are already aliens here and they're already among us, then you have to think, what type of aliens are there? Well, there could be aliens that are the gray aliens, which are, long fingers, slender bodies, big dome heads with big round black oval eyes, the typical gray aliens. And a lot of people think those are biological androids. And then there are the reptilians, then there are the insect aliens, then there are the tall whites, the Nordics. And so if you research into aliens, there's already a lot of information out there. You can very easily find this just by doing a quick search engine. Just search some terms in any of your favorite search engines, and you'll find a lot of this information that's already out there that people theorize about what kind of aliens are already here on Earth. And another thing too is, when it comes to reptilians, ladies and gentlemen, they have admitted different governments around the world, the US government, the Chinese government, they've all admitted already that they are creating human-animal hybrids in deep underground military facilities, in deep underground military bases. I mean, they're doing these, mad science experiments, and they've been doing it for decades and decades. And so they've already created these gene-spliced monsters. Who knows what kind of reptilians that they've made? They've probably recreated an actual velociraptor in a deep underground military facility. I mean, this is just the reality that we're living in, ladies and gentlemen. It's 2021. The future is here. The future is now. And so even if you don't believe that the aliens have came from outer space, or if you don't believe that maybe the aliens have been on Earth for millions of years and maybe humans came after the aliens, then I think that it's very probable and possible to think that humans have concocted up and cooked up some form of mad science experiment in some laboratory deep underground in some military facility, and they've probably made reptilians just by splicing human DNA with other animal DNA. And so I think that all of the above are true. I think there's probably all these different alien races that came from outer space. I think that on Earth, there's been multiple different alien species here for millions of years. And I think that also humans are creating their own versions of lab-created monsters or aliens or whatever you want to call it. It's all basically the same thing. There's all kinds of stuff going on out there, ladies and gentlemen. We're not in Kansas anymore, okay? There's some crazy stuff happening. Just the first step is to admit it. You can't live in denial. This is the reality of what's going on. And so, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and go to the next slides that we have here on the Austin Perry Show, episode 47, on this Wednesday, June 30th, 2021 special edition, deep dive into reptilians. And the next slide we have here, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. This is an artist interpretation of what a humanoid reptilian alien could possibly look like. And I think it's a very accurate representation. Somewhere out there, whether it's walking among us with holographic skin or walking among us with some form of hypnosis induced upon the viewer, or whether or not it's an underground military facility and it's some kind of laboratory experiment, there is something that looks pretty much exactly like this. This, what you're looking at, is an artist's interpretation, but there's something out there that looks just like this. So that's what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. There are potentially, possibly, reptilians. I think very strong likelihood. So there you go, artist's interpretation, what a humanoid reptilian looks like. Let's go on to the next slide. And here is another artist's interpretation of what an alien humanoid reptilian could potentially look like, which I think is spot on, dead on, very accurate. There's something out there, in my opinion, that looks just like this walking around. That's real life. That's not fantasy. That's not sci-fi. I'm talking about real stuff here, ladies and gentlemen. Real stuff, folks. So there you go, another artist's interpretation of what the reptilians look like. Let's move on now to the next slide. And there you go. That's another one. And they've concocted, they've brewed up, they've cooked up a lot of different variants of reptilian creatures in these deep underground military facilities. And this is an artist's interpretation of what a reptilian looks like. This could be a human-created reptilian, or this could be a reptilian from outer space. Either or. It's totally possible, totally plausible. Very likely, I think. So there you go. Look at that guy. He's got some teeth on him. Wow. I wouldn't really want to fight that guy. I'd probably still beat him, but he might put up a good fight. But ladies and gentlemen, let's move on now to the next slide. Okay, here we go. Moving on to the good stuff. So here we have an illustration with corresponding letters, which has a key at the bottom, which I will go to in a minute here. But let me just describe what you're looking at in this image here on the video monitor here behind me. This is actually different types of reptilian aliens, according to certain people who theorize about this type of stuff. And this is the hierarchy of the alien race of reptilians. And at the top of the hierarchy are the winged reptilians, and allegedly the albino, red-eyed, winged reptilian aliens are at the very top. And so this one is called the Pope reptilian, or the Pope Draconian. And then you have several other types of warrior class and tech types and different types. And let's go ahead and read what kind we have here. So letter A, which is this one right here, this is, according to this, this is from supernico2012.wordpress.com. And so this is a guy who's created this website, and this is his interpretation of what the alien reptilian hierarchy is. And so he says that this first one, A, that he's labeled letter A right here, this is the bloodline heritage dynode. That's what he calls it, bloodline heritage dynode. And so, and then letter B, which is this one right here, that is, he says, the royal bloodline Draco. And so that is the top of the hierarchy, the top of the food chain, the top of the pecking order. And I'm just going to read a few more of these different types here. Regional Draco Commander, Warrior Class, Abduction Combat, Warrior Class, Combat Bodyguard, Psychic Mind Controller. We have Soldier Class, Ground Ops, Elite Liaison, Human Asset Handler, Stray Reptilian, Dragon Warrior, Research Spy. So there you go, all different types, according to this guy who put together this website on the hierarchy. Oh, here we go. What does this say here? Exopolitic Files, Alpha Draconian Civilization, a racial social structure designed for imperial war. Well, that is very fascinating. So there you go. There is the hierarchy of the different types of draconian reptilian alien race, and all of them are different orders and different classes within the reptilian race. There you go. Just like humans, there is a hierarchy, and there are different classes of the different types within the race. So let's go ahead and move on to the next slide. And this is a similar image put together by the same guy, Nico. And this is showing not only the different types of draconian reptilian aliens, but also other types. And so here you go. You can see up top there is the winged albino red-eyed reptilian, which is the royal bloodline, the Pope reptilian, if you will. And down here you have other types of warrior class and psychic types, reptilian. And then here you have the grays, lots of different grays. You have a gray helper, a gray escort, a gray doctor, a gray teacher, a gray technician, a gray elder, all different types of grays. Then you have the Nordic types right here on this side. And then down below you have some other types. And then here is one of the insectoid types right here. And then also you have these kind of like reptilian, but more like vampiric type of aliens, demon type of aliens, if you will, monster type. And so you have this one, white-tailed devil with glowing red eyes and staff of authority. And that's this one right here. And then over here you have shape-shifting singularity vampire, Jersey devil type. So look at that guy. Imagine a realistic version of him. I wouldn't want to encounter that. Is it real? Maybe, maybe not. I think it's very likely though. So there you go. That's just some of the different types of aliens, and including a lot of the different reptilian types. And let's go ahead and move on. Next slide. Okay, here is another page which someone put together. And this is describing different types of reptilians. At the top here, you have the winged reptilians, which are the top of the pecking order, the top of the social structure, the top of the hierarchy. Then you have some with tails, some without tails down here. And let's go ahead and read a little bit here. Let me get a little bit closer. It's a very small font. Reptilians are either said to have arrived on Earth millions of years ago, or they evolved here from dinosaurs. Either way, they have lived here longer than us. They have very rigid caste system with the winged alpha draconians at the top. Some reptilians have tails, and some alpha draconians have horns. They are usually green brownish, but black greenish, and albinos exist too. Albinos, no matter their caste, are always given to their religious order. So there you go. And here it is showing some of the garb that some of the reptilians will dress in, according to this Nico guy who seems to be an alien researcher. He's putting together these different presentations on these websites, which I think are very cool. And so let's go ahead and read here. They wear colors ranging from red to purple. Blue is sacred, so only those from the religious order are allowed to wear it. Only alpha draconians can wear purple. Well, and let's go ahead and read this last part here. They wear very little clothes because of how it wears it underground, and rarely cover their crotch unless they are meeting with more bashful races. Alpha draconians often wear capes that hide their wings. Okay. Good to know. Very interesting. Very thought-provoking. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Different types of reptilians you can see here in the images, and what types of garb they wear, what color their skin is, and what different forms that they take, and how that associates with their class within the reptilian race and their hierarchy. And so let's go ahead and move on now. And so, ladies and gentlemen, now I want to talk about how reptilians, which I think are probably real, probably already among us, probably have infiltrated a lot of different political organizations and governmental organizations and such as that. They have been portraying these reptiles in movies for a long time now to get us used to the idea, to normalize the idea, to desensitize you to the idea, so that it's already in your mind, and whenever you're watching a movie in a movie theater, eating your Milk Duds, eating your popcorn, drinking your Coca-Cola, you're in a safe setting when you're presented with this idea. So it's already registered in your brain, it's already normalized to you, so that when they finally actually come out in real life, or if you see one in real life in person, you're not so freaked out by it, and you accept the idea of, oh, I've already came across this before, it's already normalized in my brain. And so here we have the Lizard Man from The Amazing Spider-Man 2. This is the main villain from The Amazing Spider-Man 2, the movie, the Marvel movie. A lot of you know what I'm talking about. You've seen this movie before. And so they are just normalizing this idea. The reptiles are probably real aliens already among us. And they're just hiding it in plain sight through these movies, ladies and gentlemen. So there you go. This is the reptile creature, the Lizard Man, from the Amazing Spider-Man 2 movie, the Marvel movie. So very interesting. That's a very good, accurate, realistic interpretation of what an actual reptile alien probably looks like in real life. So let's go ahead and move on now. Next slide. Okay, here we go. This is the movie, I think it was 1992, 1993, somewhere around there. Super Mario Brothers movie. This is the Mario movie. Mario and Luigi. They made a live action adaptation of the video game. And these are the alien reptilian lizard creatures from the movie. There you go. I mean, that's probably what they look like in real life. Like I said, there's multiple different variants of the reptile race. So the last slide could probably be very realistic. This slide, probably very realistic. This is from a blockbuster movie from like 1993. the Super Mario Brother movie. I mean, they're just hiding it in plain sight. They're just normalizing it. They're just desensitizing you to it, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. That's from the Mario movie. Moving on. Okay, here you go. This is one of the winged draconian reptilians. This is from the movie Jupiter Ascending with Channing Tatum and Mila Kunis. There you go, another example. They're hiding it in plain sight. They've got reptilians in all these movies, all these sci-fi movies, all in Star Wars and Star Trek and all the most popular movie franchises. They've got reptilians. And so they're just showing you what's actually going on in real life. They're hiding it in plain sight, right under your nose. This is the winged alien creature, the reptilian creature from the movie Jupiter Ascending with Channing Tatum and Mila Kunis. Okay, moving on. There you go. This is Bossick from the movie Star Wars. This is one of the bounty hunters. And he, as a lot of you are aware, was one of the characters from the Star Wars movie. He was a bounty hunter who was commissioned by Darth Vader to hunt down Han Solo. He was in competition with Boba Fett to get the bounty on Han Solo. So there you go. I mean, that's probably what one of them looks like in real life. There you go. Another reptile, another reptilian, another draconian. So that is Bossick from the Star Wars movie. Another reptile. All right, let's move on now. Predator. The Predator is another reptile. It's another example, another way that they're just hiding reptilians in plain sight. Maybe the reptiles are real, maybe the reptilians are not real. I think that they probably are real, and I think it's very likely. And so there you go. The Predator movie, very popular movie franchise. The main character, the Predator alien, is a reptilian alien, as you can see. It's got the reptile scaly skin and a lot of different features of a reptilian. And the Predator alien is just another version of a reptilian. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is my in-depth coverage of the deep dive on reptilians, humanoid reptilians, and draconian aliens. And so thank you so much for joining me here tonight. And this is the Austin Perry Show, episode 47, here on this Wednesday, June 30th, 2021 edition. And so, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching and for tuning in here on this deep dive of reptilians. I want to encourage everyone who's watching and listening, please visit my website. That is AustinParry.org, and that's spelled P-A-R-R-Y. Here on the Austin Perry Show, we like to talk about current events, politics, culture, news, advanced technology, and aliens. And this is where we strive for expanded consciousness and enlightenment. And so I like to do a lot of research. I like to do a lot of digging into topics that I find interesting. I like to learn things that I find interesting. And I like to present that information to you because I feel like I am contributing towards the Great Awakening, which will help to better and empower humanity. And I'm all about human empowerment. And so that's why I'm doing this show, really, is to just help to contribute towards the Great Awakening and to make people think outside the box and maybe think about things in a different way or a different light that they might not have otherwise. And so, ladies and gentlemen, please visit my website, which is AustinParry.org, and that's spelled P-A-R-R-Y, AustinParry.org. I think you'll really like it. Check it out, take a look, give it a gander. That's where you can find all of my video content, and that's where you can find merchandise for sale. That's where you can find artwork for sale. I've got some really good artwork on there. Check it out. You might want to buy some. And if you'd like to support me further, and if you'd like to leave a donation, please do so on my website. Find the donation link. Give me a donation that will really help to support my video content into the future. I am 100% supported and funded by you, the viewers and the listeners. I am a grassroots patriot journalist and investigative researcher. I'm not taking payouts from big government, big tech, or from evil corporations. I'm 100% funded by you, the viewers and the listeners, and I thank you so much for your contributions. It's helping to support my videos, and it's what's keeping me on the air, and it's what's keeping me motivated. And I'm a full-time video creator, ladies and gentlemen, and so please leave a donation. That will really help me out, and I'll be very grateful for that. So thank you so much for watching here on this Wednesday, June 30th, 2021, episode 47 edition of the Austin Perry Show, which was a deep dive on the topic of reptilians. So ladies and gentlemen, everyone have a great night, and I will see you on the next episode, which will be episode 48. Everyone, I will see you later. Love and peace, and goodbye.